Hey, my name is Tim Cummins, and I'm glad that you are here, baby, for this first edition of Verbal Surgery. And you may think, verbal surgery, what's that? Well, good question. You know how a doctor can take that thing and he can get that scalpel and he can start cutting off stuff, cutting off the bad stuff? Well, that's what I'm about. I'm about how to make you feel better about yourself. Now, you may say, hey, Tim, I already feel good about myself. Why would I need verbal surgery? Well, if you already feel awesome because you are great and you already feel wonderful about yourself, hey, go to another podcast, man, because this podcast is about making you feel better, right? Because you are dadgum awesome, baby. Amen? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you say, well, what is this stuff? Words are power. Our language is powerful. And the way we use words around others and in our own head affects ourselves. Now, verbal surgery is based on my tweets. I don't know if you're into Twitter or anything like that. And over about 70,000 people read my stuff. Man, it must be something good, right? Right, you know. Now, you would think tweets. I don't know about Twitter and all that stuff. Status updates. I just went to McDonald's and had a hamburger. That's what my tweets are about. My tweets are compressions of my best thoughts. And let me tell you, my best thoughts are dadgum awesome. But of course, my massive humility keeps me from going on and on about that, right? But just to give you an example, turn up the volume on your joy. And what does that mean, turn up the volume on your joy? Man, it's kind of simple. Is this what this verbal surgery is all about? Yeah, it is. Let me give you an example of that. I'm a bird kind of guy. I like birds. I like plants. I like the rocks and stuff. I like nature and things like that. When I go outside and I feed my birds and they're fluttering around me because they're glad to see me. Why? Because I'm giving them something positive, right? They like that, right? How does that make me feel? Well, I feel happy, right? Makes me feel happier. When you turn up the volume on your joy, do you know what that means? You do more of the stuff you already like. Now look, that's not very hard. If I go out there and feed the birds, that makes me feel good, and I spend 5 minutes and that makes me happy. What happens if I spend 10 minutes doing it? That's right, it makes me even happier. So verbal surgery is not some complex thing that you think, oh, I never thought about that before, but it's like this. Maybe you've read a book that you really liked. It might have changed your life. And you thought it wasn't just that book, but it's this one paragraph. And when you think about it, it wasn't really just that one paragraph, it was that one sentence. That one sentence turned everything around me, gave me a new perspective and helped me frame things a little bit differently. And that made the difference in how I felt about things. That's what I'm about, my friend. Because most people, they need verbal surgery. They need somebody to tell them that you're a great person. You know, when you look at these tweets, it's going to make you even better looking. You know why? You want a facelift? Smile. Because just smiling makes you look better to other people. You smile, they smile back, and it's all about relationships. So if you want to come back and make yourself happier and make yourself better looking, then you're in the right place. Make sure and take a look also on my tweets. If you're into that, Tim A. Cummins, 70,000 people, can't be wrong, right? Popular for some reason, right? And that's because of those small ideas, these nuggets of truth, these mental vitamins that people take to just remind them that, you know what? You are art by God. You are something special. You're getting better every day. It's amazing how great you are. How'd you get that good? And you know, you may think, wow, this is kind of an unusual podcast. But you know what? He's right. I am getting better because you are awesome. And listen, spend a couple of minutes. Take a look at some of these other podcasts. This is my first one. Oh, I've done tons of other stuff. But this is the first one devoted to verbal surgery to make you feel better. And I look forward to seeing you real soon. See you later.